Hi, so I was guided to pull a card from the Divine Circus deck by Alana Fairchild. These cards are awesome. The artwork, the messages. So let's just see. What do we need to know right now? People that are tuning into this video, that are resonating with me, what messages does our higher self, our guides want to communicate with us from? I can't believe this actually. Reason why I'm saying this is because this card, the Supernova, I've just done two individual oracle cards for two clients that I'm working with at the moment, and this card came out for both of those. So I think it's really resonant of where the energy is right now for anyone that's watching this video, because if you're watching this video, then you, like I say, you're in resonance with me, and we're on this journey right now of a reconnection back to the true self, back to the true soul self. We're starting to recognize the false self, the ego, the part of us that's kept us small and stuck. So this Supernova, if you look at this card, it's like, you know, she looks like a goddess, right? And it's about bringing back that divine feminine energy, that goddess energy, and the divine feminine. Well, she is, she's a creator. She creates things. She's inspirational. She's a nurturer. She's compassionate and loving, and she receives. She's a receiver. She doesn't have to work really hard. She allows things to come to her. She just focuses on her light. She focuses on spirit, on fire, on passion, doing things that makes her feel passionate. And in doing that, she calls into her life everything that she needs. So also with the Supernova, right, it's also about really fast, accelerated growth. And right now, we are getting so much light into this, into the planet, that we are being really assisted by Source, by the divine, by God, to grow, to accelerate on a so much faster than before. We can grow so much more in such a short space of time. It may be intense, so you may be going through an intense experience right now. You may be letting go of a lot of things, and 2023 has been about that, about letting go of things, letting go of jobs, letting go of relationships, letting go of things that don't serve us, that are not in alignment, that don't resonate with us. And we'll be doing that quite rapidly during 2023, and we may find ourselves in a really chaotic, difficult situation. But just know that as you move through that intensity, it will be short-lived. It will only be for a short period of time, and it'll be worth it. The growth at the end of it, how you accelerate at the end of it, will be worth it. So let's see what this, I know what this message has to say because I've just read it twice, but let's do it again anyway for everyone else that is tuning into this video. It's such an amazing, empowering, inspiring message. Okay, and I'm going to hold it up so you can see it. And I just love the starting point of this. Okay, so something in you needs to be unleashed. This is not quiet and steady growth, but more like a wild explosion of creative energy and sacred fire. The sparks your rapid growth will create shall ignite your body, mind and soul, inspiring you to expand even beyond what you believe is possible. Your light will shine far and wide. You cannot control it, but you can trust it. And I just recently channeled a meditation for a reconnection program that I do with my clients, and in that, what came to me was that this change that is happening, this accelerated growth that is there for anybody that is open to allowing that light into the body, to giving themselves that space to integrate that light through stillness, connection and presence, through meditation, through being in nature, through following our passions, that can embody more of that light. Well, this momentum of change, well, it cannot and it will not be stopped, and it is growing. It is doubling, it is tripling, it is quadrupling in its change. So again, you are on that path in some way in your life. You are on an accelerated path of growth, or if you are not yet, you are about to enter into one. So a rocket is capable of travelling far and with great power and speed before settling into an effortless orbit far beyond the world in which it began its journey. To launch, however, requires power. A quiet and contained power, if not is not appropriate for the task. A raw and explosive force is needed to propel a rocket from the known world of Earth towards its destined orbit in space. The oracle of supernova indicates a time of rapid growth, so accelerated and powerful that it can feel like an explosion, as if you were the rocket being launched into space. It tends to be of high intensity but a short duration, because we can do this work right now. We can grow, we can expand very rapidly in a short space of time. But like I say, it could be intense. Whilst this is a positive thing, it can cause shockwaves and disruptive patterns and create feelings of instability or even uncertainty as your world starts to change in ways you don't feel are within your personal control, because they're not within our personal 3D limited ego perspective control. Our higher selves, God source consciousness, we have a divine plan, and everything in our life has led us to this moment where we are awakening, where there is a great awakening spreading throughout humanity and throughout the planet, like the supernova coming in fast, causing a huge disruption. Huge shock waves of awakening are spreading on the planet, and you are a part of that. That awakening. So you might feel like it's out of your control, because it is, because it's divinely orchestrated. It's part of the divine plan. And as we start to wake up to that, we can feel encouraged, we can feel supported, we can feel nurtured by that. You may feel like there is a powerful momentum moving you out of what your life has been. So something may be being taken from you. You may be going through a divorce. You may be losing your job. Something like that, something quite major. You may have lost a loved one. And there could be a lot of change happening right now as you are being moved into your destiny towards some new unknown destiny. So it can feel scary, but it is in the unknown where the magic happens. And as we reconnect back to the self, we learn to trust the self. We start to see the bigger picture and understand ourselves on a new level. So as it moves from the dramatic force of the launch towards the eventual peace of an effortless orbit, the rocket will jettison the very thing needed to get the journey started. This isn't about disposing of the essentials, the people and things that really mean something to your heart, but rather about letting go of old attitudes, ideas, ways of being and attachments, to allow for utter freedom to ascend. So it's about, letting go of that which no longer serves, that which no longer is in resonance with the new self that you are becoming. After the intensity of the birth, the effortlessness of your orbit into a new world will require a different attitude. What you needed to begin your journey, to start a new venture or lifestyle, will be different to what is required to continue on your life journey. You need to trust in what is happening at all points in your journey. Don't hold on to a support system, a belief system, or way of being out of fear. Sometimes it's just time to let go because it's not relevant for your journey anymore. If you try to hold on, you will actually just be holding yourself back. When the time comes to let go, you'll feel it. So you'll know in your heart, you will know what is the right thing to do, not what to do out of fear. You'll know what is the thing that you want to do from fear, but you'll know in your heart what is the right thing to do. You will feel it. People or situations will not be able to reach you or you them. So when we start to move out of resonance with where we are, or with people that we're with, or whatever that may be, then we stop being able to really communicate with each other, because we can't hear each other because we're on different wavelengths. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that that can be family members who we're not going to just often let go of per se. it just might mean that our relationship changes a little bit with them, that we don't rely on them for the things we once did because we don't need to anymore because we're on our own journey and path, and that's okay. We all are growing at different paces and different rates, and again, that's okay. But we've got to honour ourselves and where we are. Um, so when the time comes, we will feel it. So even if you are making an effort to try and stay connected, previous support systems and connections won't be able to support you anymore on the next steps of your journey. It's like they are training wheels that are no longer needed. They would just get in the way. So you have gratitude for what was, and with love, you let it go. So exactly, we can look back at all of those people, all of those experiences, and even if it's come to an end, even if we're in a divorce, let's say, so often when I hear people talk about being divorced, they feel like they have failed. They feel like a lot of guilt, a lot of shame. They feel really bad. But what I would say is that if we look at that from a higher perspective and realize that we choose to interact with certain people to learn different things, to grow and expand, and just because something comes to an end does not mean it was a waste of energy or time. It's the absolute opposite. It was there to teach you to learn and grow and expand in some way, and everyone that's involved in that, you haven't failed. You haven't failed. It just gets to a point where sometimes we have to let go. We have to realize that we're on a new chapter in our life, where we've learned the lessons we need to learn with that person or that situation. And it's okay to let it go. We can let it go with love. We don't have to let it go with regret and with fear and with anger. I'm not saying that you won't feel any of those things if you are going through a divorce, of course, and we should allow ourselves to feel them. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that we're not meant to stay static. We are meant to grow and expand, and we came here to experience a lot of different colours, a lot of different flavours and creations and experiences, and sometimes as humans we can get very attached to things and we don't want to let things go because we've put so much energy and time into them. We feel like we've wasted our time, but if we start to realize it's not a waste of time, sometimes things have to come to an end. Sometimes we need a death in order for a rebirth. Understand that death is a gateway into a new beginning. So as we let go, whilst it might be painful, it's okay to feel that pain. We're going to move into something so much more wonderful, and we're going to have learned a lot of things on that journey. So it's not wasted time. It's divinely planned and orchestrated. So previous support systems and connections won't be able to help us on our next step. It's it's like the training wheels that are no longer needed. They would just get in the way. So we have gratitude, we have love, and we let it go. So the oracle of the supernova reminds you that after the intensity of the birth, there is another birth of sorts. The settling into a new pattern of life at a higher altitude with more peace, effortlessness, and consciousness. Exactly, we're becoming more conscious, we're becoming more aware, as we become more conscious and aware, we can have gratitude for the things that we've been through. We can see how everything has been bringing us to this point where we start to awaken to truth. So again, a lot of the clients that come to me, they are at the start of this awakening process, so they do feel quite confused and don't really know what's going on. So that's what I guide them through on this reconnection back to the self. So you do the healing as you reconnect back to the self, and you discover the truth of the self, and it helps you awaken and expand your consciousness. And it's a journey that we never end, right? It continues. Creation is a spiral, and we are spiraling back up in ascended consciousness. We're starting to remember that we are divine beings, and we're starting to spiral back into the light, because we have been on a big journey of descending away from our connection to divine, to source. That's caused a lot of the pain that we have gone through and suffered, as thinking that we are not enough, that we are less than. But that is not the truth. That's the ego, that's the small self, that's the false self, the illusion. And we can start to awaken to that. That's why I guide people back into that awakening. And then it becomes so much easier to let go of these things. In fact, they just start to dissolve out of our lives. So the oracle of the supernova reminds you that after the intensity of the birth, there is another birth of sorts, the settling into a new pattern of life at a higher altitude with more peace, effortlessness, and consciousness. Each phase happens naturally, and you'll feel when and how to respond to each phase in your life as you learn to trust in yourself. So I hope that whoever's seen that message, that it uplifts you in some way. It has some, it's inspiring for you. It gives you some support, some encouragement. Because if you are watching this video, then there is definitely a message from your higher self, from your team in this card. Thank you.